What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. I'm doing something a little different this time. So if you guys like this a little more, or you guys like me commenting live on what's actually happening in the game at the time, you guys just need to let me know. So let's get right into it. I'm playing some Borderlands 2 right here, continuing off the last time I played it, so continuing the story that I'm on with my Necromancer. Now, the title clearly says it's about Borderlands 3, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the history of the game, so Borderlands 2, a little bit of Borderlands 1, not really. We're going to talk about current leaks and ideas that are going on with Borderlands 3, possibly coming out this year. And then we're going to talk about, the characters, the storyline, everything else that might be going on in the game. So for starters, so Borderlands 2 released almost 10 years ago on September 18th in 2012. And it sold 12 million copies since then. That's a lot of copies sold for one game. I don't know if that's including digital copies or, whatnot. But, everyone kind of played it, or at least has heard of it. I'm hoping. I mean, it's a great game in my opinion. And 2 years later, they released the pre-sequel, which didn't do nearly as well as Borderlands 2, just because the story was different and the characters were different. Gameplay was different. It was just a completely different game almost. And it just wasn't all it was meant to be. But with Borderlands 2 doing so well compared to Borderlands 1, Borderlands 1 did pretty well too. But Gearbox is hoping to continue making money off of us and releasing a third one. About Borderlands 3, they didn't exactly announce that they'd be releasing the game or that they're even working on the game. Instead, they announced a highly anticipated new title from one of 2K's biggest franchises. So, with 12 million plus copies sold, that's a pretty big game franchise that they have right there. Other possible theories of what the game could be is Red Dead Redemption 2, which they've already announced, except the fact that it got pushed back to October, it's like it was a delayed game, it means it's still possible that that's the game that they're talking about. Only because they said it was during 2019's fiscal year, which is October of 2018 to September of 2019. Which kind of sucks because we're really hoping that it is Borderlands 3. The fact that they just pushed Red Dead Redemption back to October means that it could possibly be Red Dead Redemption 2 instead of Borderlands 3. And then the other three games that just aren't as likely are BioShock, XCOM, and Mafia. And all three of those titles didn't get nearly as much traction as Red Dead Redemption or Borderlands. So, it's most likely going to be one of those two. There's other things that kind of point towards Borderlands 3 being the new game coming out, but 2K made this really big hiccup, I guess. They released Battlefield 1 at the same time as they released Titanfall, and what that did is no one really bought either game, kind of. It was kind of weird. They learned that releasing two games so quickly next to each other diminishes how much money they're going to be making off of them. So the fact that they're pushing Red Dead Redemption back to October means that they might not even release Borderlands 3 until the end of the year. So in September of 2019, they might wait till the end of the fiscal year. And that means we're going to have to wait even longer for the game. But, who knows? They still might be releasing it. Now, another leak we have is at PAX West in 2017, during Gearbox's panel, Randy Pitchford said 90% of the Gearbox team is working on the thing that I think most of you guys want us to be working on. And considering Borderlands 2 sold well over 12 million copies, that leads us to believe that hopefully we're going to be seeing a Borderlands 3 game come out soon. Now, another little leak was at Epic's Unreal 4 presentation in 2017, where Randy Pitchford claims Gearbox has switched to Unreal Engine 4 for different physics and simulations. And with that, you guys can go watch this video. It's pretty interesting, actually. They kind of show a lot, but don't really show anything. They basically just try and show how the graphics are going to be different on a game that would be Borderlands-esque, but they don't really say that they're working on Borderlands, but you can kind of tell. He says in the video there might be different physics and the sun and moon might be in different positions than what we are used to on Pandora. Now, he's clearly talking about Borderlands here on the planet of Pandora, where Borderlands 1 and 2 takes place. And he's just kind of saying that with the new Unreal Engine 4, things might be a little different than what they were. So we'll see what he's leading up to there. Now, with that, Unreal Engine 4 brings new character designs as well. I'm not going to exactly talk about the characters right now. Instead, I'm still going to talk about possible leaks that is going on with the game. One of which is this tweet by Randy Pitchford where he says, "I'm doing a shoot. It may or may not be a psycho bandit in a video game that we may or may not be working on. Also, happy Bulletstorm launch day." Forget the Bulletstorm launch day. We're concerned about the psycho. Maybe psycho. May not be a bandit. Who knows what's going on. But this was back in April of 2017. If they've been working on it for a year already, I'm hoping that they're not releasing it too early. I hope they really take their time on this game. But, it kind of gives us a little more insight and a little more peek into what's going on with their team, with Gearbox and all of them. If the game is going to be released, which we're all hoping it will be, I'm going to dive into what some people's theories of what the map is going to be like, the storyline is going to be like, and who the characters we're going to be able to play as are. So I'm going to start with the maps that we're going to be visiting, hopefully. Hopefully there are multiples in that there's a way we travel between planets, something like that, something like Destiny or what. So, in the pre-sequel, we have the map Elpis, and then in regular Borderlands 1 and 2, we have Pandora. Both of these refer to Pandora's box in the story Works and Days by Hesiod's. It's a Greek myth, which, it's actually pretty exciting. I actually took a mythology class in high school, and so I took a whole semester of reading things like the Odyssey, Oedipus Complex, the Iliad, like all those types of books, and we just talked about them. So hopefully it kind of helps me with this breakdown. So new possible map speculations are Promethea. This one's kind of interesting. The only reason that they are speculating that it could be a new planet, Promethea, is because it's mentioned in the game where Atlas discovers alien tech to build their weapons. So who knows, hopefully we might be visiting planets based off of the weapon manufacturers, and we'll see. Maybe that's how they plan it out, who knows. But they still might build off of the whole Pandora's box. In the story of Pandora's box, a man opens the box and it releases monsters and evil gods and whatnot. It could be one of those monsters, or who knows. Elpis is the only thing that's left in the box after the man opens it, and it's stated as hope. It's the only good thing that's left for man, basically. So we'll see how that works. The brilliant man behind the references to Pandora and all these Easter eggs about Greek mythology was Mikey Newman, the writer for Borderlands 1 and for Borderlands 2. But sadly, Mikey resigned due to health issues in June of 2017. So, it might not have anything to do with Greek mythology. It might just be a completely different story based off of who's writing it this time. Who knows how that will go. We really have no idea on what the story could be. Mikey Newman's story with Borderlands 2. In today's world, we don't really read a whole lot of these Greek myths. But we did have Aesop's Fables, as the child. At least I did. I remember reading those. But Babarus wrote in which the gods send the jar containing blessings to humans. Rather than a named female, it was a generic, foolish man who opened the jar out of curiosity and let them escape. Once the lid was replaced, only hope remained, promising that she will bestow on each of us good things that have gone away. So, at the end there, when it said once the lid was closed and the only thing left was hope, that refers to Elpis, the map for the pre-sequel. This kind of refers to the Borderlands 2 story. So Handsome Jack kind of takes Iridium to the next step, and well, you'll see in the gameplay, but you know, nothing good comes from it. You know, he releases evil. Our Vault Hunters kill that beast. We have hope at the end of that. We finally are like hopeful that, hey, the evil's gone in the world, whatnot, right? And then we find out it might not be, which leads us to, you know, Borderlands 3. So, that's the story of Borderlands 2 in a nutshell. Possible story for Borderlands 3, I'm still gonna go back to the story of Works and Days by Hesiod. Hope is the only god remaining among mankind at the end of the story after the box has been sealed, which is Elpis. So it's the only good remaining in mankind. The others have left and gone to Olympus, so we could possibly have a planet called Olympus, where we have to go and find all of the remaining good in the world. Trust, a mighty god has gone. Restraint has gone from men, and the graces, my friend, have abandoned the earth. So, all of these things have left Pandora, and Pandora has become what it was, like a wasteland, basically. Men's judicial oaths are no longer to be trusted, nor does anyone revere the immortal gods. The race of pious men has perished, and men no longer recognize the rules of conduct or acts of piety. So, this kind of works with Borderlands 2, that pious men have perished, and that no one's to be trusted, basically. And that's who Handsome Jack is. That's what he embodies. But it also kind of refers to Psycho and the Bandits, is that no one recognizes rules of conduct or piety. So everyone's kind of in this free-for-all and everyone's for themselves kind of mentality. This might be pointing to that Borderlands 3 revolves a lot around Krieg. Who knows, like, what's going to happen. Now, that's a very rough storyline possibility. You know, maybe it's Olympus. Maybe we have to find the good that's left in the world. Maybe we have to finish destroying the monsters that were released from the box. We'll have to find out. Moving on from that, we're going to talk about the characters in the game. So, during this Unreal Engine 4 presentation, while they're showcasing the art and the techniques, they kind of leaked a character, but not really. So all it is the back end of a female. They do say it's a her. They refer to the character as her and she in the video, so if you guys want proof of that, just go look at it. It kind of says that, hey, this is going to be our main character, but they do refer to it as a female. There's a lot of theories behind it that it's Tiny Tina, who's now grown up and kind of taken the act of vault hunting on herself because of the influence that we had on her in Borderlands 2. So we'll see. Hopefully it's her. I would love to play her as a main character. The theory could be Psycho's Krieg maybe is back in the picture. Who knows? Anyways, I'm excited for this game. I hope that they release it soon. And if they do, I'll make sure to have videos for you guys right away. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you guys like this style of video more, please let me know in the comments or leave a like. Any positive feedback, I'll know that, hey, this is what you guys want to see. And I'll keep giving you guys what you want to see.